Vakratunda Mahaka Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada
Unnikrishnan sir, unmute yourself and please give the opening welcome address.
Good evening to all of you. Sir, I am audible?
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
yes.
Sir, it's my privilege to welcome all of you in this August gathering regarding the use of construction chemical in building industry. First of all, I would welcome our dynamic National President, Engineer K. Viswanathan, to this meeting. Thank you, sir. I would also welcome my chairman, Dr. S. Manjrekar, for his contribution for the Construction Chemical Committee and his advisors for the entire fraternity this evening. I would also welcome the National Treasurer, Anirudh Nakwa, sir, for this meeting. I would extend a warm welcome to Mr. Madhusudan, coordinator for this meeting. I would also welcome all the vice president and all the invitees who are attending this meeting, and it will be very useful to you. Construction chemical is the fifth ingredient in the construction industry. After cement, steel, aggregate, and water, this is now most important like other four ingredients. Without construction chemical, nowadays it is very difficult to make buildings faster, and it will be useful for carbon-free buildings. Green building concept is very, very useful for applying the construction chemicals in different usages of industry. Either for 120 meter or 500 meter height building or 3 floor down the sea level, all this can happen only because of the construction chemical use in the building industry. So I would once again welcome all these attendees, participants to this meeting and take the output and the usage of construction chemical in the industry. Thank you all.
Thank you, Shri Unnikrishnan. President sir, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon to all the participants. First of all, as a national president, I convey my happy greetings to all. I appreciate Dr. S.K. Manjrekar, chairman of the BA Construction Chemicals Committee. He is not only the chairman of this committee, but he also holds a lot of positions like American Concrete Institute, etc., etc. The list is too big. I thank the chairman of this committee for the second meeting. Today, the topic is a little different. In addition to construction chemical, is bringing a link of profit-oriented methods, and also he wants to especially emphasize the net zero water curing. Both the allied subjects are quite interesting to everyone. So, curing requires not only a lot of water, labor, but also electric pumps, hand pumps, sprayers, curing sets, etc. Also, it spoils the surrounding earth. Today, we are going to listen to our committee chairman Manjrekar. First, Then we'll have a deliberations, question and answer session. I request the committee chairman, Dr. Manjrekar, to proceed with today's proceedings. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, President, sir. I have been requested to introduce Shri Manjrekar, Dr. Manjrekar. Actually, needs no introduction in BI, but it's a formality. We have to do it because we have many people who are not members of BI. Shri Manjrekar is chairman of BI's Construction Chemicals Committee. He is honorary member of American Concrete Institute, USA. And he is the founder, one of the founder members of the India chapter of American Concrete Institute. He is honorary fellow, Institute of Concrete Technology, UK. He is former visiting professor, University of Leeds, UK. He has been honored with Lifetime Achievement Honorary in RILEM, France. He has been awarded Industry Doyen by CIDC, which is under Niti Aayog. He is CMD of his firm, that is Mrs. Sunanda Speciality Coatings Private Limited. Shri Manjrekar is passionate about concrete. He is passionate about training and skilling also. He is widely traveled in India and internationally also, and is an avid Rotarian. Manjrekar sir, thank you. I welcome you, and the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, President sir, for your good words, and Madhu, Aniruddha, and all my friends, Unnikrishnan, and all my friends here. I must praise Builders Association of India for identifying that smart, fast, and qualitative construction, use of construction chemicals is imperative. And that point of view, we have, BAI has made this committee, and I am privileged to be the committee chair of this important committee, along with co-chair Mr. Unnikrishnan. It is also very heartening to see that till the end of the term, I'm told that even in the next week, there's going to be some technical activity. BAI is taking up technical bias very seriously, and I hope this angle of BAI also will grow very fast. Construction chemicals, as Unnikrishnan said, is a vast arena wherein several hundred chemicals and matching systems can be discussed. However, in this presentation, things given importance to are: one, reduction of global warming, carbon footprint reduction by construction chemicals, reduction of costly resources with the help of construction chemicals, smart use of materials. In our current lingo, it is AI. I call it Artificial Intelligence in Construction, AIC. And very importantly, make more profits without compromising the quality. These are the traces that we are giving in today's presentation. In given short time of 30 to 40 minutes, better be 30, I propose to elaborate on two aspects. One, waterless curing of concrete. As a matter of fact, for the last webinar that was held, our honorary treasurer just talked about this idea that don't use water for curing or reduce the amount of water. This is called as internal concrete curing, ICC. And then second thing that I'm going to talk about, a story of a cricket stadium, Wankhede Stadium, Mumbai, how the carbon footprint was substantially reduced over there. Yes, so here I begin. You can see on the hat two signs of rupees. First rupee is for regular profits, and second rupee is for the additional profit that we are going to make today. So use of smart, sustainable construction. Just a minute now. Construction chemicals and practices linked with profits for contractors and developers. Special emphasis on near zero water curing and story of Wankhede Stadium. So these are going to be our subjects today, topics today. If this title was to be subdivided, just some hiccup here, but it will be used to be subdivided. Oh, I cannot. Give me only a minute. Subdivided further, I will subdivide this at use of smart. Then I'll subdivide it further. Sustainable. Then construction chemicals and practices. Then finally linked with profits for contractors and special emphasis on near zero water curing. Next. So first item, use of smart, subdivision. Second, sustainable. 3, construction chemicals and practices. 4, profit. Profit should be soaring, should be going up north, linked with profits for contractors and developers. And finally, special emphasis on near zero water curing. So internal concrete curing, ICC, this term has been coined by Federal Highway Authority, that is equivalent, not equivalent, much about 100, 200 times bigger than our MORTH. That is the Ministry of Mr. Gadkari. So they have started working on this and they have coined this ICC. I am trying to popularize this in India. So curing of concrete is an unavoidable operation. Everybody has said that, known that. It is required to be done with fullest attention. However, in India and other developing countries, it seems to be grossly overlooked. Diligent curing of concrete is the fundamental need of durability, sustainability of concrete structures. Typically, long stretches of linear construction, roads, bridges, as well as multi-story structure need vigilant curing, which is very crucial. Now some arithmetic and some facts. Arithmetic, by rule of thumb, 1 lakh square feet of multi-story structure requires 10 million liters, 10,000 meter cube of water for production, curing, and site development activity. In case of long stretches of linear construction, say double lane, flyover, the consumption further goes up to 70 million liters. In desert areas or extremely hilly terrains, water is still more scarce for any construction. Even drinking water is not available, you know that. In such a case, the cost of water for curing can be astronomically high. Some cases, water may even be available, may not be available at cost. I have money, but I don't have water. I can't buy water. And also, simultaneously, our another responsibility and very imminent responsibility. Today, the temperature of Mumbai is 40 degrees centigrade. Never heard of. What about global warming and carbon footprint? What about our next generation? So zero water usage is important from the reduction in carbon footprint point of view. Scientists, industries, policymakers, other stakeholders, they all understood the meaning, impacts, and interrelated trade-offs. I'm making a very important statement meant by the term water energy nexus. Water energy nexus. More the water, more the energy, more carbon footprint. Raw water collection in water system, raw water collection, treatment and supply of drinking water, collection of treatment of wastewater, final disposal of treated wastewater, and resultant sludge together contribute to GHG emissions, greenhouse gases emissions. All the equipments in various operations. I'm giving these facts so that the further explanation will be easy to go ahead with. All the equipments in various operations are in water-related operations are operating on power throughout the year and on 24-hour basis. Hence, the power consumption is the major source of carbon emissions. I'll give you an example. United States, the highest user of electricity in the world, is spending 13% electricity in water-related operations. It is reported by Greenhouse Commission that every cubic meter of water consumed is responsible for 10.6 kg of carbon emissions. In other words, every cubic meter of water not used or saved entails the contribution of reduction of 10.6 kgs. I mentioned to you about multi-story structure earlier. If we even save 5,000 m³ of water, we are coming to the subject now, 5,000 m³ of water, we are talking about 53,000 kgs reduction in GHG emission. Hence, besides smartness, let's go to the title, remember the title, besides smartness and profits, sustainability in terms of substantial reduction in carbon footprint is the outcome of the concept of net zero water curing. Now, I have said net zero water curing. So we have to find the alternative to water curing. Globally and in India, we should develop an alternative water curing method system which can take care of inadequate or uneducated people doing curing by untrained labor, reduction in cost of construction, that is labor and water if you use no water, hence increase in profitability, reduction in carbon footprint due to net zero emissions of GHG, creation of durable structures and sustainable environments. Above factors are well placed, but is it really possible to cure the concrete with zero external water and save environments, increase profits, and create sustainable structures? So the question is it really possible? And yes, it is possible. It is possible with internal concrete curing systems, ICC, internationally it is called as ICC. And how? As follows. We just hurriedly go through conventional methods of external concrete curing, fogging, sprinkling, wet coverings, then membrane forming, then impervious paper, plastic sheets. All these are conventional methods. And what are the shortcomings in external concrete curing? That in external concrete curing, what I am trying to show you over here are two concrete matrix number 1 here and concrete matrix number 2 here. This is concrete, aggregate inside and cement paste everywhere. And this is cured concrete. What really happens, my dear friends, here it is, now when the water tries to enter in, it cannot go through the entire mass of concrete. Today we are dealing in M50, M40, M60, M70, M80 concrete, and the coefficient of permeability is so low over there that it cannot reach, and then that creates a thirst for water in the interior of the concrete. In low water cement, high performance mixtures, the dense microstructure can limit the depth of water penetration, like I mentioned here. Now, very importantly, again, we see it in pavements, in roads, in linear structures, concrete mixes that are needed for extended service life undergo autogenous shrinkage. Autogenous shrinkage, it undergoes at a very early stage, at a very early age, and that autogenous shrinkage causes stresses, and stresses always are relieved in terms of cracks and can lead to early age cracking. And early age cracking, that means the biggest enemy of durability. External curing cannot address this. Despite external curing, the early age cracking does take place, and that's the problem. How do we also take care of that? These mixtures are prone to self-desiccation, internal drying. Internally, the water cement ratio water is consumed, and after that, there is a thirst for water, as I say, and internal drying starts taking place. This is termed in technical language, self-desiccation. What happens in external concrete curing? General tendency of negligence, labor force. Then in most parts of the world, there is water shortage. Then it is difficult to monitor continuous curing on large areas like canals, dams, roads, etc. In remote and hilly terrains, we mentioned earlier, to transport the water for curing is always a problem. As a result of cumulative challenges, the concrete will not get properly hydrated, and due to lack of strength, it will what happen? It will deteriorate much before its expected life cycle, along with monetary losses. Very interesting thing, if you have, just please focus on this. Gaining strength without external concrete curing, how does it happen? Now, typically, in long linear stretches, the construction diligent curing is important. I mentioned it earlier 2-3 times. Several methods like external curing and internal curing are there. In internal curing, there are 2 types of internal curing. Number 1 is using absorbent lightweight aggregates, and number 2, using construction chemicals, superabsorbent polymers, SAP. So here in this case, the external curing, only the top, from the top there is some water which can percolate, and the remaining portion remain unhydrated, uncured, and hence it doesn't get hydrated properly. Now in this case, this is one internal curing with lightweight aggregates, and this is another internal curing with construction chemicals, that is superabsorbent polymers. you can see here, as compared to this, you can see here the entire volume of concrete has been hydrated, has been converted into hydrated concrete and has gained strength. Here also it has happened so, but not as much as it should be. So this is how it would be. External curing, water can go only up to a point, and then internal curing, the molecules, they get evenly distributed throughout the concrete as a smart material. They are nanomolecules, and those nanomolecules, they have a capacity to hold water 100 times, 200 times, 300 times of their weight, and that water is released when required, and the entire internal concrete is cured by this internal concrete curing. And how simple is that? It has to be very simple. So far, we have not used any labor force, any labor cost. Here also there is no labor cost. Simply they are in given proportion, 1.5% of cement content, you have to put it in the this mixer, and that's what it is. That's all. So scarcity of water in general, external curing not required, saving in cost and natural resources, green initiatives. Lack of awareness is our basic enemy in these operations. Water conservation is our duty and necessity. Now, this internal curing compound, what does it do? The advantage is it reduces the extent of usual water curing process. Then it improves impermeability of concrete. It reduces, this is what very important, it reduces plastic shrinkage and long-term drying shrinkage in early age concrete, improves workability and pumpability of concrete when used along with superplasticizer, protects against water evaporation from the internals of fresh concrete or mortar, improves hydration of all types of cement. And this is the proof of the pudding, that this is 4 trials, results are here, without admixture and without water curing. That is the first column. Second column is without admixture with water curing. That is what we generally do, or it is a semblance that we do. With admixture, without water curing, and with admixture, with water curing. If you see the numbers of compression strength here, without admixture, it is 155. Without admixture, with water curing, that is normal thing that we generally think about, is 175. Then here, with admixture, without water curing, substantial enhancement, 195, and if it is both, it is 235. Now we come to our very important bottom line, comparative costing. Material, external concrete curing, water 2,500 rupees for certain area. This can vary from place to place, and it can vary from grade to grade. Internal curing compound cost is 1,800 rupees. Then labor, so many labor for watering, etc. That is, cost is substantial. No manpower for internal curing is required. Performance, subject to diligent operation. If you do good curing, you get good results. This is here on automatic mode. So costing very vaguely, roughly, tentatively 6,000 to 1,800. So this is how the performance of this internal concrete curing would be. And believe you me, there is no option in days to come, time to come in this global warming and other very important compelling factor. We have to move to this zero water curing as early as possible, sooner than later. Then I want to take another very interesting case of reduction in carbon footprint. Story of Wankhede Stadium, Mumbai. Everybody has heard about Wankhede Stadium. Some of you must have seen the matches also there. And but what is the history of the stadium? It is located in Mumbai. It is located in Mumbai, right across the Arabian Sea, and it is the international national cricket tournaments are held over there, and these tournaments have been held there for last 50 years. Now, what really happened, 2021 was the renovation year, I mean, just after COVID or somewhere there. What really happened that the structure was in very bad shape, and another 2 months' time, or probably less than that also, IPLs were to be held over there, IPL matches. And IPL matches, it was already announced as center. So this was the situation of the structure. This was the situation of the structure. This is what it is. This was the situation of the structure. The whole stadium was in shambles like this. And we wanted, BCCI wanted to just put this as a playing center within one month or 2 months or whatever time that was at hand. So here is the case that resources are available, but the time is not available. Time is more important resource than other resources like money, etc. Is once again proven over here in this case. So application of heat insulating, anti-carbonation coating, decorative coating, etc. is being done over here in various stands because this is open structure. The problem was waterproofing was okay, it was handled, though huge areas, anti-carbonation coating, it was handled, though it was huge areas, 8 lakh square feet and all. But then the problem was, and the ingenuity was that there were polyethylene chairs, and these polyethylene chairs were to be restored using some innovative technology. Why? Because all 38,000 chairs, they were ready to buy, but there was no time to buy. And that's why we had to just put this thing in order. And they were happy that if it happened only for 1 year, one IPL. And if you just see, this is how it looked like earlier, and this is how it looked like later. We'll come to that again. This is how it was, and this is how it looked like. I mean, cricket is a religion in India, and every first tier city, second tier city, third tier city, every city has some stadium or other. They are open stadia, and they undergo this beating, ultraviolet light, rain, water, anything, and they are often needed to incur very heavy expenditure. And that's how I thought these developers, these contractors can just do it efficiently like this. This was how the stadium used to look like earlier. This is how it looks like now. Finally, in 2021, it looked like this. And in 2025, also it looks like that. Recently, the matches were held, and there will be again matches that will be held. So let's talk about profit, saving, and reduction of carbon footprint. Price of polyethylene chair is rupees 2000 odd, 2500 odd. So it goes to 9 crores 57 lakh 60,000 rupees, very roughly. Cost of innovative acrylic PU coating, that was the job and that is the expertise which was necessary, and that is what construction chemicals can do for reducing carbon footprint. We'll see how very soon. So the cost was 55 lakhs 86,000 actual cost incurred. In case of 9 crores 57 lakhs and odd, which the body was ready to spend. The profit was to the whopping 9 crores 1 lakh 74,000 Indian rupees. So reduction in carbon footprint, one thing we have seen, profit, economy. Now we have to see at reduction of carbon footprint, restoration of stadium bucket chairs. Bucket chairs are made of polyethylene. Bucket chairs of polyethylene were in bad shape, you saw, and looking aesthetically unacceptable. Clients were ready to replace all the chairs with new. However, the time constraint was there and it was not possible, which led to the decision to refurbish and renovate the existing lot and existing lot only. This involves, please mark this involves suitable case use of construction chemicals, just selected one, and extreme expertise to tailor make that. The carbon footprint of 1 kilogram of polyethylene, LDPE, PET is 6 kgs of carbon dioxide. Weight of one bucket chair is 2.6 kgs. Hence, the carbon footprint of one chair is 15.6 kgs. That means 5,92,800 kgs of carbon dioxide for the entire stadium was reduced by this operation. I am talking in addition to the profit or the saving that we did. So, though anticipated that the treatment, again, it's a good happening, anticipated that the treatment should last only for 1 year. It lasted for second year, third year, fourth year. And if you go to see match this year, you'll also find the same thing, the same condition. Look of Wankhede Stadium today. Hello? Hello? Okay. Good.
Hello.
Yeah.
Is it
So,
over? So we have some interaction.
yeah, we'll have some interaction now. We have finished with the video also.
Acha, so,
And
Manjrekar sir, your presentation is over.
presentation is, I mean, at the fag end of video, there is some snag. Don't worry about it.
Acha, okay. Participants who want to ask, who have questions, they have to raise their hands using the facility in the app. Once again,
Manjrekar, sir.
sir, President, sir.
It's a wonderful presentation. I can say it's an eye-opener about the latest construction chemical, especially the curing compound. Ever you're noticing the early age cracking due to the high strength concrete and the lack of curing inside the concrete. I am astonishing to note that the cost of adding the construction chemicals is much lower than the cost of water. Earlier, I was thinking that the other way. If you use construction chemicals, the cost will go on high. My only small doubt is, though there is a good chemicals, as you have explained, there is a shortage of applicators throughout the country. I think our co-chairman Unnikrishnan will agree with me. I think he can organize some applicators in region wise. Otherwise, the final product may not reach the end. Anyhow, it's a very good presentation about the cost savings and a good profit to the contractors and also net zero rating. Thank you, Manjrekar sir. Now the floor is open for interaction, questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your succinct observations. Thank you.
Manjrekar sir, nobody is raising his hand, so I'm reading out the some questions from the chat. Mr. Bhairav Prajapati has asked, what is the base of ICC material, what you introduce?
This is in the first place not introduced by Dr. Manjrekar. It is a technology that we were talking about and the concept that we are talking about. About 20 years ago, Federal Highway Authority have thought about it and they used this lightweight aggregate, as I mentioned earlier. Later on, there are several chemicals that we have begun in our laboratory and otherwise. These are essentially a polymers which have capacity to absorb very high content of water in them, so that can be released afterward. They are called as super absorbent polymers. So the pointed answer to the question is these are the super absorbent polymers.
Mr. Mufadlal Bora, what about air voids and impact on concrete strength?
Air voids and impact on concrete strength. Impact of concrete strength was shown in the table. And since this is an effective alternative to external curing, more effective alternative, strength will obviously be more. It has to be more. And which was shown by the experiment also over there. Incidentally, Government of India also has started using this. DRDO and regions where there scanty rainfalls and very high temperature, they are using it over there. So you talked about the strength, and another thing he asked about air entrainment. Air entrainment is by itself, whatever will happen, this material has such a low concentration, 1.5 kg per percent. It has no air entrainment property, or it doesn't entrain the air.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Mehul Parekh, unmute yourself. You have a minute.
So
Mr.
good evening.
Mehul
Yeah, sure. Good evening, Dr. Manjrekar. Thank you very much for a wonderful session. It's always a pleasure listening to you. And I just have a few questions. One is that does this wonderful admixture completely replace conventional curing, of different types? When we say conventional curing, as you rightly captured, there are various forms, not just water curing. So is this a complete replacement for conventional curing methods, or is it to be used in combination with conventional curing for optimal results? That is first question. Second question is, do we have
Please, Mehul, I'm an old man. Ask one question at a time.
No, not at all. So you are the evergreen young man, and I know you since I was a child, so that's not an issue at all. But thank you. We'll take it one at a time.
Yeah. So you you asked me whether it replaces water partially or fully.
Yes.
Yeah. The efforts have begun, like I said, 20 years ago at Federal Highway, and you are aware about Federal Highway. I mean, they are the biggest spender on scientific activities. So they have come from the possibility of doing it partially to fully. Now, with this super absorbent polymer, I see another 5 years' time, it should be fully water devoid. I mean, there will not be any water for water used for curing.
Okay, so it means we can completely replace curing
Yes.
with this
Yes.
process. Okay, great. Then the next point, sir, was that since we are replacing conventional curing, is there any sort of international code or Indian code, or global code that recognizes this as an alternative method? Because that will be a question that most project owners
I
or
knew
consultants will ask.
I knew that intelligent persons like you would be there and ask this pertinent question. Obviously, on Indian scenario, there is no such code, but these Federal Highway and ASTM, they have started working on this, and I had a booklet also over here. My secretary has taken it some. You ask the next question. By the time I'll give you the number of ASTM code.
Okay, wonderful. The next question I had, sir, was that by introducing this admixture into the concrete, does this affect the application of any subsequent coatings that you may apply over it or paints, in terms of the surface adhesion, etc.?
No, it is the admixture and it just goes inside. It is just like younger brother of pesticider or whatever you can say.
Okay.
It is inside. Where is that Federal Highway booklet? It was on my table.
Okay, and the last question I had was about the chairs, which was also a wonderful technology and technique. So what was the thickness that you applied? Because eventually the chair is being, people are sitting on it, there will be some abrasion, etc. So how thick is the coating on the chair?
How thick is the coating is not important, Mehul. What was important there that these chairs, 38,000 chairs, are going to be in ultraviolet
Yes.
beating all throughout the year, in monsoon beating all throughout the year, whenever monsoon is there, and next to the Arabian Sea, the thickness is sometimes misnomerish in our mind. More than thickness, of course, is important, but it was more of a ingenuity in forming and in formulating and creating that coating by itself, which will withstand in ultraviolet 1 month or 2 months, the whole color changes. You know that.
Of course, that is well taken. That is why I was also wondering to know that eventually, apart from the exposure, it's also physical abuse. People sit on it,
Physical abuse, of course. I mean, when somebody pulls the sixer, they start literally jumping on the chairs.
Exactly.
So all
which
that
is why I
activity,
thought that maybe the thickness also in terms of a physical body of the coating would be needed.
Thickness, the stubbornness of the coating, the sturdiness of the coating, all those were, it was a job. It was a Nobel Award winning job without Nobel Award.
Right. Correct. But what was the thickness that you recommend on such applications?
It would be something like anywhere between 500 to 1,000 microns.
Okay. Great. Thank you, sir. Wonderful presentation.
Thank you for those wonderful 5 questions.
Maybe.
Manjrekar sir, one more question. There are a couple of questions from the chat. Your opinion on the effectiveness of the use of hydrogel-based curing and use of plastic sheets for curing the concrete?
I have to take a lecture from this, the one who has asked the question. Hydrogen-based curing and all, nitrogen-based curing I had heard, of course, but then...
Hydrogel.
Hydrogel. For the time being, can we say this question is out of the subject, out of the purview of this subject today? Okay,
that the person who has asked the question can drop an email to baihq.mumbai@gmail.com. We will try to answer it. To request Manjrekar sir to answer it, or maybe we'll have an article on that.
Sure, very surely.
What is the base of
isolation?
When there is so much saving, why it is still not popular and widely used, sir? It will. And like I said, it has to happen.
I mean, like Unnikrishnan said, the construction chemical has become a fifth constituent. About 50 years ago, or about 30, 40 years ago, 45 years ago to be precise, when I started, it was not considered to be a fifth constituent.
Ah.
It was called as a myth.
Sir, and one more to all the participants, if you want to ask questions, please raise your hands using the facility in the app, because after the questions in the chat are over, we will be having the concluding remarks, because we are already touching 1 hour. There's another question, sir. Sir, there is already a curing compound being used by brush application as an alternative to water curing. What is the cost difference between that and SAP?
That anybody can find out, but let me first technically bring it out. The concrete curing compound, the membrane is just a poor or less strong option for curing. Water curing is the best curing as compared to membrane curing. And then the costing that you have to go to company and find out.
Okay. Will it, now what I don't know what will affect, will it affect mixed design of the concrete?
It doesn't affect much design of a concrete.
Okay. Hello, sir. Myself, Amit. Can we use Sun Polycure 1 at batching plant while in mixing stage itself, or at project sites where we can add just before placing? Please guide.
It is good to add at the batching plant. It is good to add at the site before discharge. Anything can be done.
Okay.
Very
Hello,
user friendly.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Hello, sir. Myself, Vaibhav. After rectification, concrete surfaces, we apply the curing compound after the initial setting. But there we will observe cracks in the next day. What will be the root cause?
That is exactly what I explained in the beginning, that when you have durable structures built, you have self-desiccation in the initial time, and that's where the cracking starts. And that cracking, no external curing can take care, either water or this membrane.
Okay. Sir, is there any cracks you observed at top surface of concrete once Sun Polycure 1 added into the concrete?
No, this is essentially, आप ऐसा करिए, all these are really very genius, intelligent engineers. You please go to Federal Highway site and just search, and you will get lots of material that I can give you here in 1 minute.
Okay. Still, I'll continue with the questions, sir. There are a couple of questions. I don't know why one person has raised his hand, but I'll finish off here. Can it used along with the regular aggregate?
It is nothing makes a difference. Whatever जो चलता है वो चलने दो and use this.
Okay. I need a sample to check the performance. Please provide a contact person name.
This is a question out of the purview of this lecture.
Okay. So Maibov is asking one more question. After the same question, after rectification concrete surfaces, we apply the curing compound after the initial setting. But there will observe cracks. I think this question is over. But there will the same question. Any effect on concrete durability? Any test conducted in durability?
Once again, I repeat, go to the Federal Highway site and you will find it.
Okay. Last question here. Hello, sir. I am Shrikant Varpe. I would like to know what are the testing methods and criteria for this product?
Now, fourth time I am saying Federal Highway.
Okay. Sorry. The Mr. Samsung, whoever is, please, you are unmuted yourself. Please ask your question. I think this is the last question, huh?
Hello. Conclude?
Yes, please ask your question.
Can we use Sun Polycure and mix in higher grade also? M70,
It is essentially, basically used for higher grades, because in higher grades only that desiccation in the topmost layer happens in the early age and the cracking starts. It could be any concrete, any strength, any type. It is as simple. Concrete, any type, any strength needs curing, needs hydration properly done. And if that is to be done properly, hydration products are to be obtained properly, then in that case, we have to have curing, and that we have to have optimum curing. Optimum means optimum, all capital.
Manjrekar sir, I think before Mr. Aniruddha Nakwa delivers his concluding remarks and vote of thanks, if President sir has to say something.
Say, dear Manjrekar sir, I'm very happy to note that more than 89 participants are there today.
All your
This may be
grace.
it's a curiosity of people to know more about the curing compound and the profit in using these modern chemicals. Is it possible to post a video of today's presentation to the headquarters so that it will be very useful for the members who are not presented today?
Yeah. I mean, is it possible, Madhu?
Yeah, this is our regular practice. All our webinars, they go on the YouTube channel of BA.
On YouTube channel.
Mr. The one which we had last of Mr. Subramani sir, it's already there on our YouTube channel. I have already
Yes.
shared the link. This will take a couple of days because I have to edit it and do some jugglery, and then only I will post it on our YouTube channel, and we will circulate the link.
Thank you, Madhu. Communication.
Sir, Unication, unmute yourself, ask anything you want to talk, because then Mr. Aniruddha will conclude and deliver the vote of thanks.
Yes,
Unmute yourself, sir.
More than 1 hour.
Ram
Yeah.
sir, namaste.
So unmute yourself, sir. Ram Bhatia sir is also there. If you
Ram
want to
Bhatia
ask
sir,
anything.
namaste.
Unmute yourself, sir, Ram Bhatia sir.
Namaste, sir. Namaste.
Ram, so nice to
Namaste.
see you.
It was
Unikrishna
very
sir.
nice to hear Mr. Manjrekar after a long time.
Unikrishna sir, please unmute yourself. No, he's not able to do it, I think. Now he's there. Okay. Sir, Unikrishna sir, please, you can speak. You are unmuted.
Sir, I have an idea. In the long run, with construction chemical companies, they are ready to do that. With big builders, their people also can be trained in using the water curing compound and other admixtures, which will make more profit to them. We can make an on-site training to their workers.
Yes, Unikrishnan, it's a need of the hour. The proper
I'll call you there,
applicators,
having a webinar. I'll call you there,
has to
having
be
a webinar.
trained before using the chemicals.
I'll call
Am I
you
right,
there, having a
Manjrekar
webinar.
sir?
Yeah. Upskilling, skilling is very important and
Initially,
unavoidable
we-
part of the industry growth.
Initially, we can send 1 or 2 people, then their people also 1 or 2 people can join with them and get trained. So they can buy and use the material.
Very
The
good.
chemical is not very costly, only the application part is the costly.
Please take care of the role also, sir.
Yes, sir, definitely.
We will close.
Mr. Aniruddha Nakwa, the floor is yours.
Yes, Madhu sir. Good evening, everybody. Firstly, I thank and congratulate for having one more online successful webinar on use of smart, sustainable construction chemicals and practices linked with profits for contractors and developers, with a very special emphasis on near zero water curing. In closing, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished speaker, Dr. S.K. Manjrekar sir, for sharing his invaluable expertise, and to all of you for your active participation. I especially thank Dr. Manjrekar for agreeing to our request to deliver this lecture on use of smart sustainable construction chemicals with very special emphasis on near zero water curing. In very short notice, after our recent seminar last week on sustainability and zero practices for construction industry. Friends, we have gained profound insights into the crucial role of use of the smart sustainable construction chemicals and practices and especially the meticulous and broad emphasis on near zero water curing technology. As we come to the end of our webinar, particularly focusing on near zero water curing, it is evident that these advancements are not just innovations to our industry, but are also pivotal for sustainable development. The integration of these smart chemicals and practices offers a dual benefit, that is enhancing profitability for the contractors and developers while contributing to environmental sustainability as well. By adopting these technologies, we can significantly reduce water usage, lower carbon footprints, and extend the lifespan of our constructions. Moreover, the cost efficiencies and improved performance metrics demonstrate that sustainability and profitability are not mutually exclusive but can in fact go hand in hand. As demonstrated by Dr. Manjrekar sir, there is saving of almost 4,900 rupees per meter cube of concrete, and this can make a very good difference in overall savings, making profits, reduced carbon footprint and sustainability at the same time through near zero water curing technology, that is internal curing systems. The use of nanomaterials and super absorbent polymers in futuristic and smart engineering is the future to go long and far in timeline. Thank you for participating and for your commitment to drive the construction industry towards more sustainable and profitable future. Let us all continue to innovate and implement these practices in our projects, setting new benchmarks for success and sustainability. I take this opportunity to thank our President, Shri K. Viswanathan sir, keynote speaker, convener and chairman of BI's Construction Chemical Committee, Dr. S.K. Manjrekar sir, co-convener and co-chairman of BI's Construction Chemicals Committee, Shri V. Unnikrishnan sir, editor-in-chief of Construction Journal, Shri Ram Bhatia sir, and of course, BI's communication head, Shri Madhusudan S. Madhusudan, as moderator of this webinar session, who has also played a key role in giving a platform in various media for this particular webinar. The 89 plus participants, I thank all them, and I hope this webinar session recorded will go to many people and enlighten them with the pious knowledge of this particular session. Once again, I thank one and all for being part of this journey. Let us continue to drive change and create a brighter, greener tomorrow while we all make profits. Profit is important for all the builders. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, Mr. Anandanakwa. For participants who are still chatting, putting questions, please send your queries or whatever you want to say to baihq.mumbai@gmail.com. Please send email, and in couple of days, this video of this webinar will be on the YouTube channel. We will send the link to everybody, those who have registered today on the Google Sheet, and it will go in all our WhatsApp groups also. And if anybody wants it particularly to those, you have to drop an email to us. We will send it to him personally. Thank you. President sir, thank you. Manjrekar sir, Anju sir, Viswanathan sir.
Thank you, Madhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Viswanathan sir.
Thank you, everyone. Let us close this.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah.
Anju.
I'm
Thank
closing
you,
the
Ram
meeting.
Bhatia sir.
Yeah, but